Marco the Phoenix face Blackleg Windsmoke Sanji. Who would win? Blackleg wins Sanji from the Storehead, the cook of the Storehead, and the wings to the Fuso King of the Pirate face Marco the Phoenix, the right hand man to the world's strongest man. Now, who'd win in a death battle? But before we go and see who'd win in a death battle, we need to analyze their weapon, their strength, and their skills to see who'd win in a death battle. So Windsmoke and Sanji have a special way of fighting. He, like fighting style, is just him using his legs, and they call it black legs because Sanji fight with his legs and he's wearing black pants. Yeah, so Sanji learned how to fight in this style. And the reason why Sanji only uses his legs to fight is because he refused to use his hands to fight, because he says his hands is for cooking, and his hands is for cooking and not to fight. So Sanji mainly is using his legs to fight. And then Sanji learn black leg of the way. Sanji know the way. So Sanji know this technique. He only use his legs, and over time Sanji gets so good with his legs, he can skywalk, and with skywalk is basically him run on air. So Sanji can run on air because this guy can kick pretty hard. So Sanji have black leg, and he can use two types of hockey, almond hockey and operation hockey. So almond hockey is decent, it's just basic almond hockey. But his operation hockey is his specialty. Sanji's almond hockey is so good, he did react and use it against Katakuri at Whole Cake Island, where Katakuri was about to kill him. So Sanji using his operation hockey to react to that. And operation hockey, Sanji operation hockey, he can see people through wall, he can predict where people's going to be. So Sanji operation hockey is through the roof, my brothers and my sisters. So Sanji is good. Fun style, and his hockey is decent. He does not have Conquer's hockey, he does not have Fuse's sight, and he does not have Rio, which that might cost him in the fight. But Sanji having Skywalk, he have Skywalk, operation hockey, almond hockey. Then later Sanji did learn a very special technique, and which I can't say for the life of me. So for the France people and for my other viewers, I'll refuse to say this name, because I know I'm going to butcher this name and I don't want to embarrass myself. So I was just called like fire leg or red leg. So Sanji learned a special, not a special technique. I think he's the first and only person to ever use this thing, and which basically he's let it turn his legs, his whole legs, into fire. And I don't know how it hurt himself. Like, I don't know how he could burn from his own flames, because literally Oda and like in the anime, in the manga, it's just showing like Sanji spun so fast he turned his legs into fire. We then later on we find out his DNA kicking in. So Sanji using this technique, we turn his legs into fire, and it give him more powerful kicks and make him go faster. It seems like, I don't know how it makes sense, but it's anime. So Sanji using this technique, he get more stronger, his kicks become much more stronger, and he's much more faster. And we have seen Sanji kicking people through the wall already without doing this, and we have seen Sanji kicking and throwing people around there like potato sacks. So Sanji have crazy strength with their legs, and he's already like Speedy Gazala. This guy's fast. We have seen Sanji that clash with the Flamingo and Dressrosa. Then in Whole Cake Island we have seen him battle Alvin doing Whole Cake Island. Then in Wano, my man Sanji got a big buff. Sanji got a massive buff. So basically, his DNA to kick in, and he's like, since Zard does like stuff on his kids that give them superpowers, Sanji's superpower to kick in late. So his superpower was flames. This anime, okay, guys. So Sanji detonated kick into in Wano, which basically like make his ability become he became more durable. He got more stronger, more faster. He have better endurance, and Sanji being the best brother, being the best siblings because they're three idiots. I absolutely hate them with all my guts, except for Sanji's sister, she's cool, but everyone else in the family is horrible. They should never come back in the story. But anyways, Sanji they got a crazy buff during this arc, and it kicked in when he was fighting Queen. So at the start, Queen and Sanji was fighting. They were keeping up with each other. Then all of a sudden, Sanji's DNA to kick in, and he's so durable now. When Queen went to attack Sanji with his sword, the sword broke on impact when Queen hit him with his sword. And then Sanji literally blitzing Queen, like free piecing this summer gun dinosaur. Sanji the free piece and the blitz Queen, and even Queen say he couldn't even see Sanji. So his speed went through the roof, his double went through the roof. His endurance got better because before that he was fighting against Queen and King at the same time, and Sanji was standing on business. He was keeping up with Queen and King at the same time. Sanji was fighting King and Queen at the same time. Then he went to go beat up Queen by himself. This guy let to kill Queen. Queen had no defensing. His strength went through the roof. So everything that we have been saying Sanji need to get better in, he did in Wano. And Sanji is the GOAT. And he got blue fire, blue flames. So it basically just increased everything that Sanji did. And plus, again, Sanji have a Power Ranger suit, which he can go invincible in, just saying. And his ability increase when you have the red suit on, your speed and everything, we know that. But then in Gate Island, the base arc in One Piece, just saying, Sanji, spoiled, did clash with Kizaru. He did block Kizaru. He clashed and he did done defense and he did protect out of weapon from Kizaru, and he did react to Kizaru, and Kizaru is light speed, guys. Then when Sanji was not keep up, but Saturn, which is a ghost member, and we know they can do conquers. They have conquers hockey. So Saturn did done like a conquer thing to keep Jinbei Sanji still, and then Sanji having a wall of this D, he did literally cancel the conquers hockey attack, and he did attack Saturn. So Sanji is top tier in the verse. Now it's time for people's favorite pineapple looking head, Marco the Phoenix. Marco have a lot of feats in Marineford because that's the first time we have seen Marco. So Marco first big feat in the series was him blocking and clashing with Kizaru, and yet again I have to say this already, Kizaru is top tier in the verse, and in my opinion he has the light devil fruit. And since he has the light devil fruit, he is like speedy Gazala. He can move in light speed. And Marco using obligation hockey and his speed to clash with Kizaru when Kizaru went to attack Whitebeard. And if you're gonna attack Whitebeard, you better do a big attack. And Kizaru, he did done a very big attack to go for Whitebeard. And Marco being Marco, the greatest pineapple head, he did block Kizaru's attack on Whitebeard. So that's a big feat because Kizaru is top tier in the verse. He's an admiral, and Kizaru is keeping up with Gear 5th Luffy in the manga spoiler, but too late, he's on the guns. So Kizaru did keep up with Gear 5th Luffy. It was kind of a draw, a tie, because both of them went down in the fight. Then and then Marco being Marco, he went on and he literally sent Akizi flying to the other side of the world at Marineford. He sent Akizi flying, and Akizi, again, he's an admiral, and Sengoku wanted Akizi to lead the Marine. He want Aokiji to be the Fleet Admiral. Then Sako, Zuni, Aka Inu, he did disagree and they had a dogfight. But Sengoku did trust, he did trust Aokiji to handle the Marine after Marineford because he was tired. He's too old. But he believed Aokiji can keep up with the Sanks. He can keep up with the not Whitebeard because he can keep up with Kaido, Big Mom, Blackbeard. And Sengoku, he said, you know what? I want Aokiji to be the admiral, not the fleet admiral. And to be the fleet admiral, you need a lot of power and you need to be like a good leader, which Aokiji is. And Marco, being the first mate, he just sent this guy flying. But a certain someone that took his position, and that was Aka Inu. And Aka Inu that also got this feet or this hands from Marco. Marco and Aka Inu the class, and Marco was the first person we have heard was using hockey. He used almond hockey to clash with Aka Inu, and those two was scrambling. Those two was fighting for a little bit, but then they left, and then Big Daddy Sangster show up. So Marco have good almond hockey. The fact that he can keep up and he can keep up with Kizaru, Aokiji, and Aka Inu, which all three of them is very good Logia, and I believe all three of them is awakened. And the fact that Marco did he had to have good almond hockey to do that to those three goats. Then Blackbeard, being a small little hyena, he did stole Whitebeard's their fruit and he did kill Whitebeard. Who is Blackbeard at the time he became a Yonko after that, and he had two very OP their fruit, the Yummy Yummy fruit and Whitebeard Earthquake fruit. So Blackbeard being a new Yonko and having two very powerful their fruit and being the biggest choke artist, being the biggest hyena. And Marco seeing that Blackbeard is a hyena and he's a choke artist, Marco, you say, you know what? Teach other gave hands to the Free Admiral. You know what? You're next. So Marco, being the new captain of the Whitebeard crew, he took the rest of the Whitebeard crew and they took them, Marco, he took them to a war, the payback war, and he faced Blackbeard. And the fact that Marco having big balls, having the confidence to face Blackbeard right after he became a warlord and after he had to very powerful their fruit, you must respect Marco. Because I know for a fact there is not a lot of people in the One Piece universe that would face a Yonko with two devil fruit. Not even I don't even see a lot of Yonkos doing that actually. I don't see Law. I see he was forced to do it. And Kid, I think he would do it, but the fact that Marco put his balls on the table right after a war, by the way, in which the Whitebeard had a lot of dead people, so the Whitebeard crew wasn't at 100% and Blackbeard was at a full 100% because he didn't took part of the war. None of his people died. He is at 100%. Marco, he had a lot of damage. His crew, the Whitebeard crew, they had a lot of people the crew that died from the war. They had to fight in a war, and right after the war, Marco said, you know what, Blackbeard, I'm gonna fight you now. And with the loss, by the way, but still Marco having the dog in him to do that. You must put respect on Marco's name. And if the war happened, the payback war, Marco is probably facing Blackbeard in the fight. Those two are probably the strongest at the time on the battlefield, so they probably face each other. And Marco had no scars when the next time we have seen him. No scars. It's the same. It's the same. But then later on we have seen in Wano, Marco did return. Marco is back. And he was back and he was throwing those hands. Because Marco, he did fight Queen and King at the same time for a few chapters. Marco was keeping up with Queen and King at the same time. Right after Yitakama retirement, Marco was keeping up with King and Queen, by the way. The same the right hand man to Kaido and the left hand man to Kaido. Marco was giving them those hands. Marco was came up with two pirates with a bounty of 1,000,000 berries. Marco had the dog in him. Marco have good arm on hockey. He have good offensive hockey. He was the right hand man to Whitebeard. And Marco probably seen a lot of stuff in his days because he was in the same time period of Shanks. You have seen Odin. You have seen Rosa fight. You have seen Whitebeard fight. Like Marco is a guy, and by the way, Ace was a second commander, and we know the Whitebeard, like 10 crewmates, they're not based on the weakest to strongest, but we all know Marco and Ace is probably the first and second strongest crewmate, huh? And we have seen Ace fight Jinbei, the son of the sea for 5 days. We have seen Ace fighting Yamato. We have heard Ace defeat a warlord. So Marco have to be high. Marco is top tier. He can heal himself with his Devil Fruit. By the way, I forgot to talk about his Devil Fruit. He have the mythic zone type, the Phoenix. He can heal himself. He can, like, he have good durability. He have good strength. He have good archy. Marco is top tier in the verse like Sanji. Now we'll see who won in a death battle between those two great pirates. Now, Marco having the mythic zone, the Phoenix Devil Fruit, and we have seen how powerful and how durable like the mythic zone type is. Look at Kaido, look at Luffy, look at the Wano Kaido's crewmate. They are very durable. But the thing is, Sanji, the ability also went through the roof. He is like Wolverine. He can recover very quickly. We have seen him got like hit by a sock also and he walk. He didn't even make a face. So I would say Marco the ability is very good. But Sanji's the ability is just behind Marco's the ability. But when it comes to endurance, we have seen Marco when he had to fight with King and Queen. Marco got extremely tired. He couldn't keep up with those two for a very long period. He did keep up for a short amount of time, but for a long period he couldn't do it. And Sanji did also done the same thing with King and Queen. Sanji did fight both of those two, and Sanji, after he did fight those two, I think Sanji did fight those two for more longer period, and plus Sanji didn't look tired after that, and we know right after that Sanji did defeat Queen. And Marco, after he did fought those two, Marco did go sit down and he did go relax. With Sanji didn't. When he did fought those two, he straight after that he went to go kill Queen. And then speed definitely go to Sanji, strength definitely go to Sanji. And the thing is, Marco is retired. Sanji is still like fighting. He's still current. He's still been a pirate. Marco is not a pirate anymore. He is retired. Like he doesn't fight anymore. And I think that will give Sanji the edge here, since Marco have been out of the game for a very, very long time. Marco isn't used to fight long periods fight. He isn't used to using his Devil Fruit to defeat people. Sanji, his body is used to fight different people for a very long period of time, and I think that's why Sanji would win, is because Marco is out of his prime. He's not in his prime anymore, and Marco he's out of it. He's not the same Marco 15 or even 10 years ago. Marco is old. He's not fighting anymore. He's not a pirate anymore. He's out of retirement. No, he's still in retirement. He won't fight. He refused to fight anymore because he knows his body's out of it. Like, he can't go being a pirate anymore because he's retired. And Sanji, he's not retired. He's still a younger crew. He's still out there. He's still young. So I think it's just because Sanji is faster, he's stronger, and his durability is not on the same tier of Marco, but it's close. His endurance is better. So that one gives Sanji the win over Marco. And if you guys like the video, I hope you guys subscribe. Goodbye.
Good vibes, let's make a move. Be free, live it up, just me and you.